I'm honored to have our next guest, who is a documentary filmmaker who has covered fantastic subjects such as Jane Goodall, Robert Evans, Kurt Cobain. And not only is he a documentary filmmaker, his craft and his style is extremely beautiful. He's clever, and it's something that gets you immersed into the storytelling. So I am absolutely honored to bring out of the show Mr. Brett Morgen.
Listen, man, it's release day. We got this movie opening all over the world in IMAX. I am over the moon. And I'm so glad that I'm talking to Albuquerque, because it was in Albuquerque that I broke the script for this film after 8 months of trying to figure out how in the world to craft a film about David Bowie. So thank you for having me on the air this morning.
Okay, I am a massive fan of your work, and your latest project is about Bowie. Can you just tell us about it?
So listen, this started before I knew I was doing a film on Bowie. I wanted to make an immersive IMAX music experience. And what that meant was, like, IMAX theaters have the greatest sound systems in the world. And I was like, let me take over your theaters. I don't want Wikipedia. There's so many books about David Bowie or the Beatles. I don't need to hear the A through Z. I can get that in a book. I just want the experience. You know, it's like extracting the juice from a grape. Just give me the juice. So that was the plan. We started going forward. We were going down the road with the Beatles, and Bowie passed. And I called up his executor, who I had met with Bowie in 2007, so he knew who I was. And I said, listen, man, I just want to do this David Bowie experience. And he said, okay, under one condition. David's not here to approve it. We will give you access to everything, and we will give you no directive. It's your film. And I spent the last 7 years sort of diving into David's imagination, and it's been the greatest journey of my life.
That sounds really awesome. It's like you get the keys to the castle and you can figure it out and unfold your own story out of that. And I was actually going to gush about your sound design for a second there. That, like, when you go see this in an IMAX theater, it's like watching a concert, honestly, with more of history and background to it.
You know, I saw the movie Bohemian Rhapsody 14 times the first 15 days it came out because of the sound. So I hired the Academy Award-winning sound design team from Bohemian Rhapsody to collaborate with me on taking David's original stems and starting from scratch, remaking them and remixing them to work specifically for movie cinemas. And that's why I'm like really passionate about people seeing this in theaters. This was a film that I never even wanted it to come out at home, because the reality is it was all made so we can all hear it in these amazing sort of sound systems and just be kind of immersed in all of this kind of magic and glitter. I loved films like Pink Floyd The Wall. I love films like Fantasia. I love films like Willy Wonka that are like kaleidoscopic, that take you places you never think you're gonna go. And I think with Moon Age Daydream and David Bowie, we had an opportunity to do something that had never been done. Bowie deserved a film as original and as audacious as he was. And the sort of thing I think will surprise people the most is that you get all that. It's hypnotic, it's intense, it's immersive, but it also has a tremendous heart. And for those of you who don't really understand, like you have friends who are like, yeah, I don't get the David Bowie thing, you will get the David Bowie thing after you watch this film. And more importantly, you will have, hopefully, a thrill ride of a film, you know, because films are very, like, listen, they're cookie cutter. There's so many people giving notes, and this was just like a arts and crafts project in many ways. I was just working by myself, and it's just, it's my unfiltered experience of working with the archives.
That's amazing. So can you tell us what you're working on next, or do you have any idea of like how you choose what your next project's going to be?
So listen, I always use it. For my whole career, I've been doing these archival sort of experiences, you know, films that aren't so much about the subject, but that kind of personify the subject. And the experience of working with Bowie is that Bowie understood that we just have a limited amount of time on this earth, and to make each day an adventure. And that's why he was always changing genres and changing styles and fashions. I have heard that message. So as of now, I will never make another archival documentary, and I will never make another music documentary, because I've been doing that for too long, and I need to exercise and flex some other muscles.
Okay. I'm I'm like, you should jump in and do Penn and Teller. Please do Penn and Teller. Please do Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller. They're great. I love Penn and Teller. I think there's a Penn and Teller film that's being made. I will tell you this. I am doing a film. My next film is going to be on, I can't tell you who, but you might get this from what I tell you, one of the most iconic actors of our lifetime, and someone who's very guarded. And after he saw Bowie, he wrote me a letter and said, I just want to be in an art project with you. You can do whatever you want. He came to my office the day before I went to Cannes, and I said, listen, man, I've been in this safe environment in my edit room, and I've watched all your movies, and the only thing I don't know is who you are. So I'm going to move in with you for a year. You can never tell me to turn the camera off. I'm going to hate it. You're going to hate it. We're both going to be miserable. But this is what we both need at this point of our careers. So the lesson for Bowie is we just have this limited amount of time. Make each day an adventure. And yeah, go see Moon Age Daydream this weekend if you can.
Definitely. All right, Moon Age Daydream, Brett Morgen. It was amazing to talk to you. Thank you for being here. If you're ever in Albuquerque, look us up. Let's hang out.
Dude, I'd love that. Seriously. And I love Albuquerque. I'm not like saying this. Like, Albuquerque gave me this film. Like, I was creatively dead until I landed in Albuquerque. And by the time and then this thing just started pouring out of me in about 10 minutes after I landed. So, anytime. Thank you.
That sounds great. There it is. Brett Morgen. Check out Moon Age Daydream. Definitely in IMAX this weekend or whenever. This is going to be amazing for you guys.